president accounted for, Mr. Executive Director.
Mr. Chairman Emeritus, this is the first meeting we've had a Chairman Emeritus at.
Yeah, I
Hello,
hope I
Sam.
didn't bring that with me.
Sure that's off.
Are we okay, Place?
Yeah, you're all set now, guys. Sorry about that, but
Okay.
I can't stop water. I'm good at a lot of things. Can you hear everybody?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, once again, I'll call the meeting to order. Those that are calling in by Zoom, Jim Griffin, Sean Hogan, John Buckley, John Carbone, Rick Andalina, and Chris Potter. Those that are present, Sam Maska, Ed Flights, Marge Frugillo, and Barb Parrott, and myself, Dave Perman. First thing I'd like to do is welcome Rick Andalina to his first meeting.
Yep.
Welcome, Rick.
Welcome.
Welcome, Rick.
Yep. Welcome. Welcome.
Next, I would like to appoint a nominating committee for our nominations coming up, which I'd like to ask Ed Flights to be on that, along with John Carbone.
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Rick Andalina.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
That's
Next,
Dave,
yes,
you're saying you, Fights and Carbone, the three on the committee?
yes, yes.
Yep. Okay.
Just had John Dagan join us.
Just got started. We had
Hi,
a
John.
little water leak in the back here. I was spraying on the electric, so we're.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see Mike Palmer just pulled up, so.
Yeah.
That's good service.
Yeah.
Next, I'd like to call the secretary's report. John?
Yes, I'll accept the motion for the secretary's report, minutes of the meeting. Any questions?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Ed,
I'll second.
second by John Buckley. All in favor? Aye.
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 Do we need to call the roll on this? or- Next will be the treasurer's report. Ed?
Emailed out earlier to everybody was the December and January treasury report. And just want to make sure everybody got that. And then I'll take a motion and then we can have some conversation. Anybody has any questions or anything?
Make a motion.
Motion by John,
I'll second.
Second by John.
second by John. John. All in
All in
favor?
favor? Aye,
Aye.
carried.
You gotta do a roll call.
You don't need a roll call.
What's that?
You don't need a roll call for that.
We knew last time here.
Probably safe to take one anyway.
Probably safe to take one anyways, yeah, we'll do a,
Ed Flights,
yes.
John Buckley,
Yes.
John Carbone,
Yes.
Rick Andalina,
Yes.
myself, yes. Carried. Any questions? Next, moving along to committee reports, audit committee, John Carbone.
In December, out of the operating account, we paid bills totaling $34,784.23. And out of the escrow account, we paid bill $30,120.87. In January, in the operating account, we paid $43,498.39. And out of the escrow account, that's $369,259. That was for the pilot payments.
I'm down.
We lose.
We lost the audio from the IDA.
No, you can hear us okay?
No.
Now we can.
Okay.
We're just holding my breath while they go down the
Yeah,
stairs.
sorry.
I'm just listening to see if anybody got a shocking experience as they went down the stairs. Just in case, you never know, somebody gets down there and then hit a live wire or something like that. It could be dangerous, so we were kind of holding our breath while that happened.
There's a lot of water down there.
You all set, John?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
I don't know if it's coming up.
Motion to accept.
Motion.
I'll make a motion.
Ed? Second?
I'll second.
John, all in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Next, the personnel report. I have nothing to report, personnel. Next, what's going on in Albany? Sam, you can give us a report, please?
Yeah, I'll be brief. The budget is the focal issue in Albany presently. And nothing in the budget. I read it. Here's the budget right here. And I read every page. So nothing will be finalized until the COVID relief bill is passed in the Congress. Now, the House should act on that probably tomorrow, I would say. So that part of it will be done, but the Senate, we don't look to see it pass in the Senate until mid-March because there are a lot of opposition in the Senate. Not necessarily over issues that of the
What's that?
the basic funding, but the issue that's creating the controversies, in addition to some funding issues, is the $15 an hour wage figure. The senators on the other side of the table from the Democrats don't feel that it's warranted. It's to explain it flows in over a period of 5 years. It's not immediately, it flows in over a period of 5 years, but there's tremendous opposition to it. And they don't expect to be acted on until mid-March. So we're not looking to see anything in the way of state or locality funding until then. So the budget is in a crunch because all of the agency funding is anticipated to come from the state, the federal monies. So, but there's some issues in there. I'm just going to touch on a couple of issues that I'm really interested in. And one of them is because of the pandemic, a lot of jobs have been topsy-turvy because a lot of crafts, a lot of specialties, a lot of particular job titles have gone away. And there's a significant need to fill other jobs with those people. So job training, it's a big issue in here. And I think that entities that have programs ready when this money becomes available, I think will be the ones that fare the best in this job training programs that are in the budget. The other thing that I'm just going to touch on is it was gratifying to see that the regional economic development councils, from which we've reaped some significant benefits, was lauded in the budget. they have said in the budget that the regional economic development councils have revitalized the economy in the rural areas. And to the extent that through a bottoms up, they describe it as a bottoms up community basis performance. And they have noted that the state has invested $7 billion in 8,300 projects and created 250,000 jobs over the past few years. So, and there's included in the state budget, which will, I believe, will survive any problems or any issues. There's $750 million in the budget for the regional councils. And the way it's situated in the budget, it'll survive no matter what. They'll find funds for it. And the three revenue streams that they're hoping will come about through the budget and not as a result of anything from the federal level are the HEP programs, the stock transfer tax. What people don't understand with the stock transfer tax is New York State Public Employee Pension Plan, Teachers Plan, Pension Plan, Fire and Police Pension Plan, all would be hit by this tax and therefore create larger amounts due from the localities. That's the one thing people don't understand when they're lobbying for this revenue stream. And
Who are we getting that feedback from?
which one, Jimmy?
Yeah, it's in the, can we shut the inside door?
Oh. But there's hundreds of millions of dollars that would be taken out of the New York State Public Employee Pension Plan, the Teachers Pension Plan, the Fire and Police Pension Plan. So we have to think about that before we push this kind of revenue stream forward. And the other one is the Millionaires Tax. That's another one that will have ramifications on the New York State overall revenues from taxation, because as you know, there's a way of avoiding that tax, and a lot of people have taken it. So that's basically a short version of the issues in Albany, and we'll have more solid information as the days go by. Appreciate the opportunity to say a little on these issues.
Thank you.
Talking about the minimum wage that they want to raise to $15 an hour, do you know currently what the federal minimum wage is?
The federal?
Yeah, I know it's a lot.
$7.25.
$7.50.
$7.50?
Yeah, it hasn't been raised since 2009.
Wow. So they're talking, wanting to double that
Yeah.
in 5 years.
Yeah, it's over a 5-year period.
Hey, Sam, is there, in your discussions, is there any, talks of breaking that out and having that as a standalone bill down the road, taking it out of the COVID relief package?
Yes, that's been visited as a standalone bill. And I think that's a route to not let it be the roadblock to getting this other pandemic bill passed.
I think you're right.
Yeah. But that, again, mid-March is the anticipated time for the passage in the Senate right now.
Right.
See, the budget period ends on March 31. So our budget has to be done on by March 31st.
Okay.
But pretty much everything is wrapped up in the budget right now. And like I say, it's hard to find good things, but those two that I mentioned were a couple of good things. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you for the update.
Thank you very
Next,
much.
Jim, could we have your report?
My report, Griff?
Please, yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, a couple of things. One is we've been working with the auditors as late as yesterday. I can tell you that they will be at our April meeting to present the final audit. We have a draft audit. We have no findings. We're talking about some minor suggestions they had to make our operation run a little smoother, which we will be discussing with our staff and everything. But all in all, the audit is a good, clean audit. They did an in-depth look at the loans, so you all know they did it at the money that the IDA turned over to the LDC for that loan program. They were satisfied with the explanations that Sean gave them on the origin of the monies and how it could be spent. They asked for a letter from our bond counsel from Harris Beach, and they're putting together a letter now that they can put in their file, but it will not be in the audit because it wasn't raised as an audit issue. It was just raised as a question. The other thing is incidentally, the loan report, because we won't have an IDC meeting today, but just for quickly, the loans that are out, the 22 loans that the LDC put out, every single one of them are current. The people have paid them. They've come in and thanked us for the help that we gave them. We had one that requested a delay of 3 months because of COVID, which directly affected their business. We gave it to them. So it's working out very well. The other one I have is the AM Extra. We have a note with AM Extra that they're paying off every year, $10,000 a year. It was originally based on matching their investment in the building. They did that every year. They brought us in bills over 10,000, and we forgave the $10,000 payment. We're down to, I think, $40,000 now, and we switched it over 3 years ago to say, as long as you increase your employment each year, we'll drop the 10,000. They came in this year with exactly the same employment as they had last year and asked us for forgiveness of that amount due to the COVID. So we just have not been able to get up to speed as we thought we would, and asked if we would consider waiving that payment. And I've been talking with these people. I know the work they've done, the hard work they've put in. I would heartily recommend it to the board that they approve doing away with the payment this year of that $10,000 based on COVID.
Hey, Griff, how many employees do they have over there? And was there some targets for the the process, or they got 10 people and they're trying to get to 11 or 12, or what? Do you know how many people they have employed?
They got 4.
Okay.
They got 4. They had 4 last year. They actually, throughout the year, they've had several people, part-time people helping them out and so on and so forth. So 4 full-time people down there. So,
Griff, through the chair, is there, I think you told me that there's you said there's 40,000 left on their account.
yes.
And we're talking about eliminating one $10,000 forgiveness, which gives 4 more years. Rather than forgiving that, can we just extend that to a 5th year?
Well, I think you could do that, Doctor, but I think in good faith, they have worked their tail off down there in that building. Personally, I've seen them down there 20 hours a day working on it. So I think it would be a good gesture on our part to just say, fine, let's get on. In fact, someday along the line, I just as soon see us get rid of the whole 40,000, because the last thing in the world I want is to have that building back in our inventory. So, yeah, up to the board.
So, with COVID, obviously, everyone's been affected in, one shape, one way, shape or form. It's hard to grow your business during a pandemic. I think, we all would agree on that. You could go either way. I wouldn't be opposed to just kind of giving them a mulligan this year and say, hey, maybe push it off a year, as Dr. Andalina suggested. I don't see any harm in that. But, obviously, we can discuss it.
They bring any financial information, or are they strapped, or are they doing okay? Do they have any indication how they
They're
do?
hiring now. They had trouble getting suppliers.
I don't know what
Some
kind
of
of, I
their
don't know what kind of
suppliers were
business.
backed up. They were having trouble getting parts. So they didn't lose any employees.
Which is
They
good.
maintained, and they've got 3 people they're bringing on new this year, right now, ready to go on.
Do we know if they got a PPP? Anybody know if they got a PPP or no?
I don't believe so.
Yeah.
I don't have that,
PPP,
Jim.
that's-
I don't have that agreement in front of me, but is that based on full-timers or full-time equivalents?
Yeah, that's a good question, John. I think it was full timers, and they've been up well over 4 at
Okay.
times. They've been up 6, 8, 10 when I've been down there, but they have not been able to get supplies and things, and it's cut them back. In fact, I was surprised. How we get that report is at the end of each year, they file the report that goes in our Paris report. Every one of our projects does, and it shows the employment as of that date, January or December 31st. And that's when that came to light, when we were doing our Paris report. It's exactly the same as it was last year. And they had called us and asked us for forgiveness. So.
Yeah, I would suggest that we consider, just putting it off a year and then, revisiting it next year, because, we're not out of the pandemic yet. We don't know,
Right.
There's obviously light at the end of the tunnel, but, this is going to have a, lasting effect for a while. So
Okay.
That would be my suggestion.
Up to the board. That what the board wants to do, I'm fine. Rick, you want to make a motion to that effect?
Yeah, that's fine. I'd like to make a motion that Amextra have their forgiveness agreement extended 1 year and eliminate that agreement for this year, or the requirement for the $10,000 forgiveness this year.
Okay. A second.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion
Okay.
carried.
Okay, I got one more thing here. Just for your information, IDC conferences, I've talked with, every year our board attends conferences, actually as a push from the comptroller to keep our board up to date on what's going on in the whole world with economic development. So we go, the IEDC conferences and the EDC, New York State EDC conferences, obviously because of COVID have been postponed this past year. They're still postponed. IEDC feels that they're going to be able to have an in-person conference October 2nd through 5th. And I'm gonna go ahead, unless anybody has any objection, I'm gonna go ahead and make reservations for that, because we can always cancel them. But I think if they do it's a great thing for our board members to go meet people from other IDAs across the country and across our state and get ideas from them. That's it. And believe me, it doesn't work on Zoom. I've been to all these Zoom meetings of those conferences, and I know a lot of our board members have been watching these. We've been having conferences by Zoom, and I know you watched some of them, many of them. John and I talked about it, but it's not the same thing as talking to people. So unless anybody has any objection, I'm just going to go ahead and make reservations.
I would just chime in that I attended the NICOM winter legislative meetings recently via Zoom, and that's something as Sean knows that it's nice to attend that in person, because you have not just the sessions but the networking, and the networking is just so important and so valuable that you just don't get that on Zoom. And
Right.
and the other thing is it's nice and convenient to be able to Zoom. But I'll be honest, during my workday, when I would be in Albany for that, but I'm here in front of my desk, the phone still rings, people still are coming in the door. That stuff doesn't stop because you're, attending these things. So there's still those interruptions and distractions. And you're right, Jim. It's just not the same. You don't get as much out of it as you would in person. So.
Okay. All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and start planning for that then. But you can make a note, it's October 2nd through the 5th.
Sounds good.
2nd through the 5th?
Yep. Okay, I am finished with my report.
Okay, next, Sean, you gotta update us on that.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, yep.
All right, okay. Yeah, on today's agenda is a resolution for the agency manufacturing facility for Alstom. This kicks in the comment period of all the affected parties that may be affected by the project.
Let me see if I can help, because Sean's having a trouble.
I sent out, and you all have the
I think he had this on the
correct. Yeah. Can you hear? Am I back online?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's
better.
better now.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So what you're doing here is what we're asking you to do is pass the resolution acting as the intent to act as the lead agent for the environmental report. Once you pass this will kick into 30-day comment period for the agency. So what we just need is a motion to approve this resolution.
I get a motion?
I'll make
Ed
it.
Place?
Does everybody have a copy of the resolution?
Sent it out
It was
yesterday.
emailed out, and we have hard copies here, John.
She sent it out yesterday. And let me just explain that too, that we're doing that to keep ahead of the project. In the event the project doesn't go, which is still isn't done yet, we would be out ahead of it time-wise. That's why we're doing this. So when they do get ready to pull the trigger, we're out ahead of them, and we won't be holding them up. That's why we're doing this.
I'll give
Setting
you.
the table.
I'll give you.
You make them. You need,
I'll give you. Need a motion.
Ed Place made a motion. Do I have a second? John Buckley?
Also, John Carbone.
Second.
Okay, call the roll.
Yeah, third.
Rick Angelina?
No, I was gonna say for discussion on that, looking at the resolution, I know this is for the site prep. Is that correct, Jim? That
for what?
The site prep for that location?
No, this is for the once you we did a site enhancement, and we'll be doing more enhanced site
Gotcha.
work as the project moves forward. But when you do an environmental review, you got to include the whole project, which would include the building. That's why if you look at the EAF, it has a lot of questions and information about the size of the building and et cetera. So it has to be all inclusive, not just the site plan, but the building itself.
It's the whole project.
And then two other questions. Are there, one at the bottom, it says name and title for the of the board of directors is going to be the
That's the secretary.
that's what?
That's the secretary. The secretary approves it at the bottom. I redid it the way the resolution.
I got you.
For the secretary to approve.
All right.
Okay.
So that's it. Thanks.
I would sign the EAF form as the local rep.
Yep. Okay.
Hmm.
Anything else, Doctor?
Nope, that was it.
Okay.
Call the roll. Rick? Angelina?
Yes.
John Buckley?
Yes.
John Carbone?
Yes.
Ed Flights?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Motion carries.
Just to give you an update on the status of the entire project, we should be getting a notice to proceed from Chicago sometime mid to late March. And once they get the NTP, the notice to proceed, then we'll be able to file our application with EDA for the assistance to do the enhanced site work. But we're ready to go. All the engineering is going forward. We just need that notice to proceed from Chicago to kick the project in the butt.
You got an angel on his shoulder.
There's a whole bunch of stuff going on with that, that Sean told you, our EDA, they're also negotiating with the New York State Electric and Gas, National Fuel. We've got a whole bunch of things in the hopper that we're dealing with almost every day, which are loans and grants to move pipes, to relocate gas lines and things like that. And these are all going on as we speak, but nothing can be signed until that notice to proceed is done. So we're trying to stay ahead of it so that when that happens, the dam breaks and we get the thing going.
A lot of moving parts.
Yeah, there sure are.
Yes, very, very many.
So, okay.
Thank you,
Sean,
Any other questions?
We're good at
I
the-
also sent out to the full board a report that I sent out back in December of our year activity for 2020. I just sent it out to Doc Angelina to bring him up to date, what we've been working on, what's in the hopper. If there's any questions on that, feel free to ask.
that's a pre-report because the report will be finalized as a part of our annual meeting.
I didn't get that, Sean, if you want to resend that.
Sean,
Oh, you didn't get it?
we sent Dr. Angelina the final report that we filed last year, which was 2019 projects. The 2020 project list hasn't actually been approved by the board until our annual meeting. I mean, I think you were doing it for information.
Right, that's it. Yeah, that just the report that I did on activity.
Right.
I did get that, Sean. You copied me on that too, and I did receive it.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, I think Doc, yeah, you didn't get it, Doc? I thought you responded to me. That's all right. I can resend it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think I can dig that out and send it, Sean. You don't have to, we won't make you pull over or anything.
All right, thanks.
Margie can do it. Margie can do everything.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you, Sean. Any
all right,
new
thank
business?
you, guys.
All right,
Have
thank
a
you.
safe
Drive
trip,
safe.
John.
Absolutely.
Holly does here, apparently.
Okay, moving on. Any new business?
Just schedule next meeting. It looks like April 22nd, if you want to put it on your schedule. April 22nd looks like would be fourth Thursday. We'll get back on schedule for our meetings.
Through the chair, can I, make a request? This is my first board meeting of the year, and I appreciate, all the help that you've given Griff behind the scenes, talking to me and catching me up. But I also have a lot of other meetings. I know we meet fairly regularly. Is there any way we can get some dates on the calendar and,
But Doctor, our regular meetings are the fourth Thursday of each month. And that's why April 22nd. And we try to adhere to that. My guess is between now and April 22nd, there may be reason for special meetings. Special meetings can be called by any three members of the board at any time on a one-day notice. So we will probably be utilizing that part of our bylaws for special meetings to approve these projects that, as we all know, as Dave said, are dozens of them in the planning stages right now.
So are there other dates that we can put on the calendar for the regular meetings, not the special meetings, just so?
You can put them down the fourth Thursday of every other month.
Every other, or every.
Every month, right?
Every month.
Every month.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, every month.
All right.
Fourth Thursday of every month.
So we're looking March 1, 2, 3, 25th then?
Then if we have to cancel a meeting and you've canceled a whole bunch of appointments, we're not going to reimburse you for those appointments.
So it's every month.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Anything under old business?
No? We've pretty much done that. Yeah.
Okay, if there's nothing else, take a motion to adjourn.
Thanks, David. Your first meeting did a good job, except for breaking the water pipe.
He's gonna cut that.
Well, I gotta tell you, I feel like the Maytag repairman. Half empty.
See everybody. Thanks for attending. Take care.
Motion?
Oh, we gotta get the motions?
Take a motion.
Second,
Dave?
John Carbone, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Everyone have a good evening.
Okay, thanks, everyone.
See you.
Cut that pipe.
See y'all down in Marinos.
Yeah.
Billy.
I'll have to close tomorrow due to plumbing.
Okay, you're good to cut, Billy.
So it was a water leak or something coming up? What was it?
It must be water, right?
Spraying like,
It's weird because
you
it
walked out
stopped for a second.
covered because it was spraying inside it. Like,
Oh, really?
It stopped for a
I'm like,
split
I'm not
second,
going
so I was thinking it was a pump. Must be probably somebody flushed the toilet or something like that and lowered the pressure. You know what I'm saying? Or drew some water upstairs or one of the other places.
Griffin, you're still on. They said it's old piping needs to be all replaced.
Gonna put some PEX piping in and patch it.
Yeah, your update. We need to replace all the pipes.
Oh, you think so? I've never noticed
He
that.
sounds just so well, mostly like Jimmy.
All right, yeah.
It's all galvanized. So, chamber meeting to follow.
You're right.
See, I ran two cat fives.
Yeah.
One is for,
We'll see you guys. See you, Dave.
See you, John.
Hey, see you, John. Take it easy.
remember, I still need you in a suit.
Huh?
I still need you in, we want to come over and take a shot.
Right.
Just whatever. You don't have to be, you come in back there, I can come in. You have a library.
Put a jacket on, put a jacket on,
You
be all set.
behind that. 'Cause I want to be through that whole, I'm doing your.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I was like 19 years old.
That's what I said. When he does his ad.
You sure you want to redo it? I know.
So I always make fun of it. I hear John seen your picture.
Yeah.
I was supposed to see your picture.
Yeah, because the one I sent, I used, I think on my website, or my Facebook.
We should have one that has you, not like just the face.
Right, yeah.
That's a little too close.
Mhm,
I
right.
can put you on like a doll's body or something.
Right, yeah.
No, I'll get a hold of you. I'll just come in and some morning, my professional camera will do something with your library or something.
Yeah.
Even if you're sitting at your desk.
Yeah, just let me know in advance. If there's a Monday through Wednesday, all three of my secretaries are there. Two of them work full-time and one of them works Monday through Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind having some of me, but then maybe with Sam or
Yeah,
something.
stuff and stuff. Yeah, because you don't even have a website now. You can read Facebook page and all that deal.
I've got a Facebook page. I don't, I got it at the beginning of COVID. and all
What you
that
should
stuff,
do is,
so.
make me administrator and I'll update it and just make it look nice. You know, that's what I do for a lot of people.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's just, maybe if you use these photos, we'll put those photos on there.
Yeah.
But that way, you know.
Checks you got to sign.
And I won't-
There are,
you know,
Marge has them. I think,
it's just
I
nice
think
to
that
have.
It's my website.
John and I both signed. I think those ones are done.
Oh, okay.
But I don't see, I don't see-
Navigate it.
Right,
I don't
yeah.
see
Right,
it.
you know what I mean?
I don't see
So,
them here
okay,
yet.
I'll get a hold of you.
These are ones I
So you're
gotta
there
go
Monday through
through.
Wednesday?
Yeah. Two of
I
them
gotta
are
sign
always
that,
there.
right?
Yes.
And, yeah, if you want, she was-
I'll go through both of these.
Somebody good if there was.
Yeah.
But want me in advance, but I usually know where.
Can you believe that
If
freaking
I didn't
pipe?
have time, it doesn't really, as long as I got.
Did you see it? I fucking sprayed all over the stairs.
The girls getting canceled there.
Yeah.
All over. I'm thinking,
Johnny, I was
What the
gonna
hell?
do the
He sent me
Wakefield
a
game.
stamp.
Oh, yeah.